Okay.
Okay, so this is domination control. There's a few variables that you need to keep track of. Currently, we do not have one of our key components. We've had a bit of delay in trying to find a room in the university or not in the university, in the Founders Hall building that would allow us to record in. Most of the ones that we found either had too small of tables or were being closed for maintenance. So currently we are in room 202, and we will be testing out a game here. Here's a look at a few of the units from the Valadorian faction. You have the Guardian, or sorry, that one's the Sky Guard. You have our Roaming Citadel, which is going to be the Valadorian Uber unit, and then you have the Citadel, which is going to be the HQ. Both factions will have an Uber unit, an HQ, and because I am player 1, and we shall start the game, I am going to I'm going to place my Citadel. Now, it is important that you cover up the P1 on the map with your base. If your base is not covering up the P1, then you're doing something wrong. Make sure that it lies within the hexes. It can orient in any way that you want it to. So just for simplicity, and maybe for readability, even though actually you guys are too far, we're going to orient the Citadel this way. It's going to be closer to the ocean, which is actually a tactical disadvantage for me because I am now missing 2 spawn points. I'm going to do my income, but on my income we actually get a custodian, and our custodians actually allow us to make buildings, and those buildings like to train units. They also are a key component to our defensive strategy. So I'm going to actually spawn my custodian next to the mountain. I'm going to gain my perk points, which my perk point income is 4. And my supply income is going to be 100 as well, and that can change throughout the game. We are going to also add up our money, which is 1,000. The best way to do this, and the easiest way to keep track of it, is to know how many perk points you gain each turn, to know how many supplies you gain each turn, to know how much money you gain each turn. Anytime you have an income building that gets destroyed, then you can just go over to your income, subtract that building's production, and that'll allow you to just easily move through everything. So I am going to buy nothing, and I'm now going to pass my perk point buy and start phase turns onto Josh over here.
Okay, it is currently my purchase phase, in which case I am first going to purchase 2 Power Monkeys. Power Monkeys cost 100, so I will remove 200 from my money income, as my units only cost money, and they don't cost supply and money, they only cost money, so I will now have my 500 starting money for my first round of income. I now only have 300, which I will use to also buy a gunner, which costs 200, bringing me down to 100 money. You can only spawn units or for as many hexes around your base. I have less spawn due to having only a base that is only one thing. My base is significantly smaller than his, but also makes it easier to defend. And I will then go on to your first movement phase.
I'm going to begin my first movement phase by moving my custodian with a movement of 5. Valador has a faction trait that allows them to move into the mountains. However, whenever Valadorian units with no specific text contradicting the statement of movement costs 1 extra if in the mountains, Valadorian units will be able to move, of course, through the mountains with 1 movement costing 1 more. That was a poor explanation. I apologize for that. So my custodian starts off on this hex. I'm going to move it 1. It has a movement of 5, so now we are down to 4. We are going to now go down to 3, 2, 2, and 1, landing me all the way over here. I am now going to end my first movement phase. You may now begin your first movement phase.
I cannot move through to the mountain. I can't move through the water, but that would be less good for me currently. So the first move I'm going to do is I'm going to move my builder, which is my scrapper unit right here, so it's just one. I am then going to move both of my powder monkeys. My powder monkeys, I'm moving a 13. You land, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, I'm going to move them there. And my gunner, I am going to move closer to the mountain. So 1, 2, 3. He has a movement of 8, so we can do that. Your turn. Okay, it is now Jacoby's attack phase.
So on my attack phase, building counts as attacking.
All abilities count as attacks unless otherwise stated, which we currently do not have anything that is not stated as an attack as an ability.
So I actually have a register here that shows me all of my buildings costs.
Yeah, cards, but
We have cards normally, however, we do not have those on site at the moment. I think I'm going to go ahead and build a citadel bunker up on this hill here. Actually, I'm going to build a citadel cannon here. Citadel cannons cost us a heaping 75 supply, which you will note is 3/4 of our income, so that will leave us with 25 supplies, and then they also cost 300 money. That will bring us down to $700. They, on top of that, also cost 1 perk point. Valador, being a more mechanically intensive faction, has a lot of its costs spread throughout the different units. This is illegal. I should move this off to the side. I'm going to now grab one of my citadel cannons, and I'm going to place it here. That way we can defend against any oncoming naval units. As we already know, the Vela pirates are pirates, and they love the ocean. I'm now going to...
I have complete oceanic domination.
Indeed, indeed. I'm going to flip my citadel cannons upside down to indicate that it is currently being built. I am now going to end my first attack, or I'm going to end my attack phase and start Josh's attack phase.
As my attack phase, I'm going to use my attack in order for my builder to build a port. Since they only cost 50 supply, that will bring my supply total to 0. However, I will place a port right here. It's currently building, so it is upside down, and on the phase, it will be fully built.
You're good, or I will begin my second movement phase. I have no units available to move because the custodian is building. Building counts as an attack, therefore it does not get a second burst of movement. I'm going to end my first movement phase. Josh, you may begin yours.
Other than builder units, other movements can use the rest of their movement phase after attacking. If they have leftover movement from their first move phase, they can use that after attacking. However, builders cannot do that.
Yes.
Okay, and since they didn't attack them with powder monkeys, they regain all 13 of their movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yep.
Okay, and I will end my second movement phase.
Alrighty. We are now going to begin the cleanup phase. All system effects will resolve, meaning that the Citadel cannons shall now be placed and ready to go. We will now begin our perk point and buy phase. Players ultimately can kind of decide how this one goes. There are no units that the moment that they spawn in have a global effect, so both players can begin this at the same time. That being said, we will do our math really quick. Thankfully, Valador's math is simple.
All math is simple.
All math is simple if you think about it.
Shouldn't have complex math. I made sure not to include any complex math. That's why we specifically chose 50s and 100s.
You have to square root everything in this game. Okay, so I am now going to go into my purchasing phase, and really, I don't think I want to purchase any units right now. The Citadel is going to get slapped, but that's okay. We are going to pass my perk point and buy phase, and we will now hand it over to Josh.
It is currently the perk point and buy phase. I will actually skip it.
We're both skipping our perk point and buy phase, likely to save things in order to build other things down the line. Valador has a strong economy. It's a little hard to get off of the ground first, so there's a strategy where you incessantly pump out powder monkeys, and that can hurt the citadels a lot. but at a certain point, Valador, once it gets its builders into the mountains, will just kind of camp and fortify the entirety of the mountain like a big old fortress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my custodian 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to now pass my first movement phase.
Okay. Since I'm going to move my builder has 5 movement, I think it was. So I'm going to move my builder 1, 2 right here, and then I'm going to move my powder monkeys 1, 2, and so it goes 3. So they're currently both next to the citadel for my next attack phase.
Okay. I am now going to, on my attack phase, I will be getting down a citadel bunker. We're going to get a citadel bunker down. Citadel bunkers cost 100 supplies. You'll note that that is 25 supplies more than our friendly cannons here. They also cost us $500, meaning that we'll go from 1,700 to 1,200. And they also cost 2 perk points, meaning that we will go from 5 to 3. We will then grab our citadel bunker, which is designed, and it looks like this. With some Latin there. We are going to place the citadel bunker right on the edge of the mountain here. And we'll actually orient this just a little bit better. There we go. I'm going to place my citadel bunker. I will flip it upside down to indicate that it is currently being built. And now I will begin using my citadel cannons. Now, my citadel cannons have an AP budget of 2, and here's where Valador tends to get a bit more complex. Valadorian units will have more weapons and more, I suppose, adaptability, and they will try to throw as many attacks at you as they can, which makes them somewhat decent at avoiding large horde armies. However, they do need first strike advantage in order for that to be majorly effective. Otherwise, powder monkeys can slip through without a forward line protecting you. So, my citadel cannons are going to roll. Their 2-hit is going to be a 9. So I will grab a d20. And on my first, you have to declare before you do your rolls what is attacking what. So Citadel Cannon 1 is going to attack Powder Monkey, or this Powder Monkey here. And in order to hit, I have to roll a 9. I rolled a 19. That's beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 1d8 and 2d4s.
Attack rules are similar to D&D. You have a 2-hit, which is what you need to roll in order to hit whatever you're targeting, as well as that. You have basically something really similar to how D&D once again does it, where it has a dice and an amount, for example, 2d8. For the Powder Monkey's ability that deals 2d10 damage. Yeah.
I dealt 9 damage to this Powder Monkey on my first roll.
1 HP left.
It has 1 HP left. That's what we like to see. I'm going to use my second Citadel Cannon attack on that. I land that hit. That's beautiful. I am going to then
Powder
roll.
Monkeys do not have armor, so they do not negate any damage.
I'm also going to then overkill and deal 11 damage to this.
So that means my Powder Monkey dies. My Powder Monkey does have the ability Expendable, which it can activate on itself to deal 2d10 damage and not damage any other Powder Monkeys. However, if someone else kills it, it deals 1d6 damage. It still deals damage to everything around it. However, it also damages other Powder Monkeys. So I'm now going to roll the damage. That's 9d6.
Something that other factions need to keep in mind with these Powder Monkeys is catch them early, because if they're moving in swarms, then you're able to kind of catch them in their own explosion.
That Powder Monkey will then deal 1 damage to the Citadel and 1 damage to the other Powder Monkey. So that Powder Monkey currently has 9 HP. On their boards, they do have HP, as well as far you can write down how much HP they have, but we forgot the cards.
Note that his death effect triggered the moment that the unit reached 0 health, meaning although it is still my attack phase, his death trigger does not occur on a cleanup phase or does not occur on his attack phase.
Death triggers happen on death.
I'm now going to, sorry, this roll does not count. As I stated earlier, you have to declare what is attacking and what it's attacking. I just made a mistake. I rolled a nat 20, which rolling a nat 20 doesn't provide any bonuses unless otherwise stated by a unit or an effect. I'm going to have my Citadel cannon use 1 AP with my Citadel to attack with its Citadel cannons on this Powder Monkey. We rolled a 15. I'm taking really good rolls today. I am going to now roll my damage dice. That's 6 and 9. So I'm going to deal 9
It's dead. So that Powder Monkey causing another death trigger, which will, once again, another 1d6 damage. Where did the dice go? Okay. 3 damage to the Citadel.
So the Citadel is going to take 3 more damage, dropping its shields down to 96. Your unit health, armor, and shields are all public knowledge, and if you are asked, you are required to tell your opponent your health values.
Armor negates damage. Shield does not gain effect from armor, but is extra HP, and HP is affected by.
Okay. I am now going to end my attack phase.
Leading us to the second movement phase. I cannot. Oh wait, no.
You go into your attack phase.
Yes, it is currently my attack phase. I cannot attack with the Powder Monkeys as I was planning. What I can do though is, never mind. I forgot airports are 100, not 50. I forgot airport.
Yep.
So it is. Yep. So I will skip my attack phase.
I will begin my movement phase, again noting I do not have any units I can move. Remember, once a builder begins building something, it may not use any of its leftover movement, and buildings count as building a building counts as an attack. I shall now skip my second movement phase. You may begin your second movement phase.
Nothing.
Oh,
As a gunner.
that's a gunner. Don't you want to move your gunners?
No, they can't go on the mountain.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I mean, like, what are the stats for a gunner? Isn't it range of 6?
Yeah, I cannot hit you.
You can outrange this.
Yes, that thing is purely there for defense currently.
Gotcha. You don't want to be pouring over the mountains. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so you're going to end your second movement phase?
Yes.
We are going to begin up the cleanup phase. Cleanup phases happen all at once, meaning my buildings don't trigger and then his. That means everything triggers together. So my building is going to finish building, and so is his. And he has no buildings currently being built, so that means that
I lost everything.
Woo! That means that my Citadel bunker is going to finish.
Yes.
We will then go on to
Final round for the plate for the demo. Final round for the demo, which is turn 3, which I will gain 50 more supplies, maybe minus 500, and 500 more, giving my money to 1100.
I have also done my income. I am going to spit out. I think I'm going to spit out a Valorian Sentinel. Valorian Sentinels cost 50 supply. Again, note that my power is inside of my buildings, not necessarily all of my units. I do have some stronger units, however, those are generally far and few between. And normally you will have the cost readily available on cards next to you, so you can kind of plan a little more accordingly. However, we will have to go through these small little tables on our phones here. So my Valorian Sentinels cost 50 supply. That'll drop me down to 70 supplies left, given that or 75 supplies, sorry. 75 supplies. And then I will go down to 1,800 money. And that is buying one Valorian Sentinel. My Sentinels tend to have a much longer range than normal. They have artillery, or not artillery range, but they have cannon range. I'm going to spawn my Valorian Sentinels here. And although they do have cannon range, they have, actually, there's a typo on my damage.
Good job.
3d4. Actually, no, I think 3d4 is what we decided because the Citadel bunker is pretty much a statement for 4 Valorian Sentinels. Never mind. I'm going to end my purchasing phase.
My turn. Okay.
Purchasing.
I'm going to use my. Not start building it. I am going. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my money in order to buy Cherbis. which is one of my C units. Thanks to having a port, I can create those. You need a port or an airport in order to create sea and land units. Air units can go over anything. C units can only go into the sea unless otherwise stated. I do actually have a unit that can go on both. However, it's my Omega unit. Where is my? Here it is. That is Nyx. This I'm going to spawn 2 Charybdis. They've all cost 200. So I'll remove 400 from my money. 1100 minus 800 is 0, 0. 300. So I currently have 300 money left, which I'm going to use to spawn 3 more powder monkeys. Where are my powder monkeys? Okay. There we go. And I end my buy phase.
I'm going to begin my first movement phase, and I shall move this out. My Valorian Sentinels are very, very slow. So I'm going to move my Valorian Sentinels, 1, 2, and then their third and final movement, bringing them over to, actually 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring them over here so that they've got a better range out in here. I'm going to also move my Custodian, 1, 2, 3, 4, end. I'm going to end my first movement phase.
Okay, I'm going to commence my first move phase. So these 3 powder monkeys are going to first move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then my Nyxes, they have a movement range of 6, so they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, those are Charybdis, not Nyx.
All right. He's going to declare you're declaring the end of your movement phase? So first movement phase is now complete. I'm going to begin my attack phase. I am going to place nothing. I'm going to place nothing down. I am going to also attack nothing, and I shall pass my attack phase.
Okay. I am going to, for my attack phase, I'm going to build an airport, which costs 100 supplies, so that's going to bring me back down to 0 supply, so I'm going to place an airport token upside down right here. And I'll end my attack phase.
I will begin my second movement phase. 1, 2, 3. I am also going to move my Custodian. 1, 2, 3, 4. It cannot use its 1 movement to try to traverse to the next tile. Otherwise, it just burns. I'm now going to end my second movement phase. We will begin. Oh, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're going to ignore your sentinel. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. We will begin a cleanup phase. Your airport shall resolve. I have nothing to resolve. Ending our cleanup phase. And that's turn 3, right?
That's the end of the demo.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We know that it was a rather lengthy video at 12 minutes, but we appreciate you for watching, and you all have a nice night.
I was so